I'm gonna favor them.
Well, let's see who gets that Blink Dagger fast enough to shut down the Weaver and how the game goes for the two teams. As I will hand it over to Toby and Sandrin for the last game of the evening. Team Newbee versus CDEC in another elimination match.
Shiva, and because I think your opinion matters well, Sandrin, I'd like to know your thoughts on this one. But I'm going to take it to the...
Sean has the cool Rubik set. Okay, go on.
Your opinion means nothing anymore.
That was easy. I spelled it very quickly.
It's the puppet master. It's actually taken us to Heroes of Newerth right here. But I actually want to take it to the next level on you. I want to give you the Blitz challenge.
Okay.
And the Blitz challenge is to work out exactly what team would win.
For the win condition for either team or the team that actually
The team that you people win and what timing they'll win. How do you get to that win condition?
Okay, CDEC will win minute.
You can have a 5-minute window.
30 to 35.
30 to 35.
They will play the lanes aggressively, they will win them. They will get 1 or 2 Roshans and then slowly build elites so that they can end with their Lincoln Spheres and then high ground with Weaver.
I could see that happening, but the issue you may be running into is just the effect of that Bat Rider as well as the Doombringer.
Absolutely.
Like, if these guys are able to get a couple of kills on the Weaver and the Ember Spirit, then CDEC's lineup is really not going to be that scary. That's when that's when you feel like Newbee could just like have the PL become an absolute beast and carry this game through.
That's just generally how it is though, right? If you're playing 2 carry cores, if they both die a couple of times, the game is just hard. Yeah. So they have to play around that and avoid it, and I do think the key for avoiding aggression is putting on your own. If CDEC take the more aggressive stance here and look to pressure lanes very early, they have Newbee running around after them, because they're just online earlier. I think Lion and Enchantress have a lot of ganking potential super early compared to Rubik. Is it a Phoenix support? It's Phoenix offlane, so Rubik Doom.
That's why I'm a little surprised to actually look at CDEC, where they don't even buy a smoke, not even one smoke at the start of the game. And Enchantress is walking around with obs and sentries. She picked up a Wild Wing and actually ended up just straight farming up, stacking, and just looking to flash farm on this Enchantress. So it's going to take some time before she starts her rotation.
Well, she's already being annoying mid.
This is like that's where the Wild Wing went.
You hate this so much. It's like the dumbest thing you can play against.
But Moo does have his bottle now, so he's at least able to spam out a little bit. It does give the opportunity to Shiki if he can close the distance on Moo.
It is, by the way, really interesting to see Shiki play this hero, considering Aggressive is widely regarded as one of the best players in the world on the hero.
Yeah, he was actually, Aggressive was the one who played it for CDEC during the group stage as well.
Yeah, and he was outstanding at TI, like, just on another level on that hero. I think the other players that compete with him now for Best Ember are maybe Eternal Envy, maybe a player like Ferrari, but we just don't see Ferrari that much because IG don't really qualify for events.
Small detail.
But he is very faithful to his club. I think he's played for IG since TI2, maybe even before, maybe Dota 1. He's like, he goes as far back with IG as Dendi does with Na'Vi.
He definitely played for IG in Dota 1. I remember casting him at an SMM when he was playing for them. He's definitely been with them from the very, very start. Bottom lane, XZ, getting really harassed down, tried to go Happy Tree Tango kind of style out, but now picked up, thrown back down again. This should be first blood with the extra XZ. They didn't finish the job. He sounds up as and the doppelganger. Howell commit back underneath the tower. He's got the lands back off cooldown again. XZ with the board trying to create some space. Plans will finally get the first blood.
It was a trick. He baited the south.
Possibly.
Nah. He baited South and Fairy Fire for an additional 180 mana for himself. That's a good trade.
He's going to come back to this lane with 1 Tango.
Yeah.
Like, that's all the Beastmaster's got to work with. This is rough. At least he's able to gain experience off this bottom lane. It's just how much he can get from here. Like, you hit level 3.5, 3 minutes in for your off-lane Beastmaster. That's not too bad, but you're probably assuming you got more than 1 Tango charge.
Man, Q is being so farm-oriented this game so far. Like, he decked the camps 3 times, he's just farming them now with his bear. Looking to maximize here and just have... I mean, if they're getting away with it, it is an alternative way of playing the game, but I would like to see him in a more active role. The smoke has arrived, so...
Okay. But he needs a creep to actually go ganking.
He's killing.
Ganking with a Wild Wing does make a lot of sense. And a Hellbear doesn't really give you what you're looking for early on. Like, if you have a Troll Trap, potentially then you can have a follow-up into Syrian Chains in mid, and a Centaur as well. Like, that's a nice little play to go for, but Actually, would have been better to go up on top. You need to wait until Devour's been used by Doom though, before you can make that kind of play. As we were definitely proven in the last series.
Yeah, that is certainly a possible kill. Weaver, one of the better heroes, is just running down and killing him in lane, but he's already level 4, and this hero just has so much health. It's 800 health you need to chew through, plus Scorched Earth. He has boots, he has a stick. I actually think that kill is almost impossible. Maybe if they bring 2 good creeps plus they smoke in, but I just think there are better targets. I think the mid lane is where you want to go. You want to secure Shiki a good start, get an extra kill there, or you go for the long rotation to bottom, kill off the PL, and start threatening that tower with Beastmaster Aura. That's probably my favorite out of those 2, but it's such a long rotation, and if it fails, it's such a big investment. So the alternative is, you know what, you can try for top. If it works, good, then maybe you take the tower. If it doesn't, you have just wasted a hell of a lot of time.
It can work now. Like,
is not getting stunned. He got it off.
And there's the stun. With a hoof stomp, the follow-up hex, that Doombringer is going nowhere but down.
It is enough.
He was really apprehensive today. You can see Tule having that decision. Like, I know they're missing, but what are you going to do? You're going to live in fear, and Chandras could just be flash farming in the jungle. With 2 very defensive wards on the map for Newbee, like, you don't really see much. Like, you don't see that rotation coming out from the Enchantress.
He was not that far from surviving as well. If he gets the 5-stick charge off, and maybe pops, I guess he can't stick with the Serab on him, so that makes it a little bit harder. But not too far. Maybe Scorched Earth level 3 there, and a little bit extra will keep him alive, but definitely a good kill for CDEC, but it doesn't bring anything extra. That they don't even deal a single point of damage to the tower in that move, I think. And committed a lot. They give information. Chuan is just being super greedy bottom, just pulling, stacking, pulling. Already level 4.5. Newbee's early game, I think, is going the way they wanted it to.
It actually seems like both teams are very comfortable with where this game is. Like, you both won one on the board. As far as gold goes, it's actually it's flat. Like, now there's 20 gold difference, but like, there's very little in this game between the 2 teams. Obviously, you're only 6 minutes in, but the fact that it's very little between the teams when you're also running a Doombringer, like, you think there's normally a little bit more, but it's because, like, Tule only went for 1 point up in Devour. Everything else pumped into Scorched Earth and having that 1 value point up in Infernal Blade early on. So I want to keep my eyes a little bit closer on how. He's had a lot of farm on this bottom lane. He's the one and only killed Newbee so far, and is currently sitting at like 900 gold after already having the Ring of a Caller and a full magic wand. Like, sitting at a level 7 PL, getting a lot of momentum, that's looking great for him, and I'm not really feeling the same threat from aggressive, especially if Lincoln's is going to be his build. It normally takes you like 22, maybe 24 minutes before you're really a threat in the fight, because you're going to build Lincoln's, and then maybe you also go the Deso or you go something else.
I think you're underestimating how much damage the Swarm deals. That skill is really good.
But he's only put 1
now.
point up in.
Yeah, he's going to max it next, if he does the right. At least that would be the build I would agree with. Most of the time nowadays we see Weavers simply maxing the Swarm. In the past you would go 1-4-4, now you'd go 4-4-1, because it got buffed a couple of times, and this skill is amazing.
Courier sniped him. Free res? No free res. They hold on and they're patient.
You know, this is a pretty big kill, especially if it's on How. And he might not expect it, because XZ is only level 5. Nice.
He's still got Doppelganger though, so do you come? You want to go for the Searing
he
used it first. So How can only be enchanted up by Q, but he's already back with the safety of the T1 tower, and Sean was very close by as well.
That actually made no sense approaching that gank that way. This is flat out just a misplay from Shiki. He has to hold the chains and just start running with Flame Guard, and yep,
it also
seems a missed opportunity. Well, aggressive. Yeah, he could kill.
Well, he dove under a tier 2 tower to kill that Phoenix on the top lane. He was under a tier 2 tower to get that kill. Living up to his name, aggressive. This is actually probably first I've seen like normally like Eternal Envy dive. He's running down those lane with phase boots on, just over harassing the hero and using time lapse to just negate all of the damage.
It's an awful lane matchup for Phoenix. This is one of the worst heroes you could play against. You can't hit your fire spirits very difficult when he's Shukuchi'd. Getting rid of the swarm is hard because your attack, it takes a long time, and like you said, he can actually chase you when you use Icarus dive. Aggressive can run him down here, and takes full advantage of his knowledge of his matchup. Starting to put some pressure on chains.
There's your last suit, Dragon. Him as well, they're going to pick him up and throw him down.
Okay,
yeah, that's a lot of endurance though being used. But it's the Ember Spirit dropping. And this is what we need to do. They need to get a couple of pickoffs on the core. That's one way to start it. Slow down that Ember Spirit, make sure that Battle Fury cut timing isn't looking good.
One thing I'm wondering for CDEC is why they decided to approach they did the Enchantress and just play greedy in the jungle when you see other teams running Enchantress Beastmaster offlane with great success. And sure, you could argue, yeah, you're playing against a Doom, but has a long cooldown on seconds. Maybe he's one creep, or maybe you just keep the creep away from him. Let's say you get Harpy, you just flank and you keep chain lightning at PL. It's gonna lose the lane by default.
It makes sense. Q's build actually leans to one. Like, you got an Urn and just over on this Enchantress. It isn't like an Enchantress that should be looking to fight. Like,
it's just too late now to play that way. If he wanted to do it, he should have done it from minute one.
Which has to mean then they have to be looking to group up as a full squad. Like, that's the only other way. This makes a lot of sense. But you've also delayed like XZ because he's going for, I don't know if he's going to complete up the treads or if he's just going to get deck group up. It's like Beastmaster, but no one's ready to come and gank with him. The Lion is almost level 6, and that's going to be nice for Garda. Blink Dagger is 1,000 away.
Yeah, he's reaping a lot from this. 21 CS minute 10 on Lion is very, very high.
So they got a lot of space on their heroes. So why don't you think like CDEC are in a position where they can play the roaming ganking kind of game?
I think they can. They just chose to. Maybe they played a little more safe since it's a best of 1. Secure their lanes, get their level 6 on Lion, which they have. Both their supports are level 6, so that's great, but it's the same on the other side. And you've basically traded with a Doom Rubik, who just have really impactful ultimates, right? And you've, in addition to that, just given Batrider free reign over his jungle. 66 minute 10. 10 minute Blink Dagger Smoke Tranquil's Ball. He's super rich and ready to go. So I don't really agree with this approach from CDEC. I think it's too passive, and we're going to see. If this smoke works out for Newbee, it's definitely positioning into a tower, and then they can look to take more control. But, counter.
Yep. It's going to be Garda, but a very quick blink away from Moon means the Garda can't capitalize.
Well, okay then.
But everybody, they'd be giving up on this. They brought all to this top lane. And now with the rotation of Shiki as well, we're about to get in our first big team fight of this series.
Keep an eye out on Doom. This is the most important ability in this fight. If he can Doom the Ember after haste Flame Guard, he get both abilities purged. But if he casts it on anyone else, Shiki is a monster in the upcoming fight.
Looks like Newbee doing a bar of it. The BTs are up on how that was his first primary item. And he just goes straight in the bottom lane. If CDEC brought everyone up, fine with this. And CDEC won a fight like that, a nice Observer Ward which will come out 4 seconds on the lane. It was seeing pretty much everything that Newbee was bringing to the top lane. CDEC were very much aware and they wanted to go to it. But Newbee denying it, CDEC just go back to the farming. Back to the stacking, all that kind of jazz.
And when do they make a play now?
You could look for the Blink Dagger timing online as a play, but you're still like waiting another like 3-4 minutes, maybe 5.
I do think their team is really strong when they're to level 10, and the Ember still has the haste. It's gonna be auto-activated now, I think. It's just it's hard. So that's going to how. That's another great rune on Ember. He's actually the rune rotation could have made plays, but maybe the game. We can farm, get our Linkins up, and then maybe go Roche with that, because the Doom is a lot weaker. But they'd be plenty of ways of breaking those Linkins if that's what they're farming for. They have Fate Bolt, Rubik Lift, Lance. I guess Lasso doesn't count. You don't really want to Linkins that. So, but the tools are there. That's the most important part, is that they have a way of dealing with it.
And maybe you're reading this really nicely. They have an Observer Ward watching it from the bottom river, which is the reason why they're being at. And they bring 5 players to the top lane. Q is playing around with that on that Phoenix by just troll trapping him up, but the T1 now comes under pressure. CDEC will pressure out the bottom tower. Okay, and they're actually going to completely abandon the top tower now. So it becomes trade time.
I like this trade for CDC. I think the Radiant tier 1 tower is a bit more important and gives them better access to run as well. Probably access into the enemy jungle. They have the Beastmaster advantage, so trading towers arguably gives them more map control than the enemy team. So I think that's pretty alright. At the same time, Newbee shouldn't be too bothered by this. They, like you said, the rotations are fine. They're not getting killed in this early. That could have been hard.
They might be concerned that they're not getting to that tier 1 tower in time.
They just smoked on top of a ward. Aggressive knows this is happening. They're coming down to mid. And this is just free time for CDEC bottom. If they read this right, they could deal a lot of damage to this tower, because they know these heroes don't want to TP down. They want to run all the way.
They already took half life of that tier 1 tower with just the creep wave momentum and a little bit of help from aggressive.
Yep.
And with the position of aggressive too, like he'll see Mu coming. You're obviously not expecting protection over on Newbee, but Chorn is walking around with some dust. That's too late. We're moving forward, it's now break. No dire observer wards around this area though, so CDC have no idea. Again, we go into this play where again they back off. CDEC get control of side lanes, like their tower trade they were searching for, and they'll just be happy with this.
Maybe they're trying to play on the fatigue of their opponents, and they think they have more energy to play this game at 2 AM than the enemy.
Level of patience.
Whoever drops to the floor last wins.
No, let it KO. Hey, I'm down with that one.
I'm not.
The game just goes in an eternal loop until you pass out on your desk.
I mean, at this rate, the game will be at least 2 hours with the amount of kills you usually see before a game ends, so...
They really are dodging too. Like, I'm trying to remember like the exact game it reminds me of, but it's I think it was LGD was one of the teams back at TI4. And it's just like the second you thought a fight was going to happen, they backed off. Like smoke happened, they backed off all the way into their base. Never came out, and then they waited until the timer ticked out, the smoke would expire, and then came back out to farm up their jungle. They smoked again, hide yourself away. It was like watching Chastity Dota.
Oh, did those scarabs? They did hit how?
Top lane, Shiki.
He's taking quite a lot of damage. This is a play.
They were waiting for the doppelganger to come out, so then Shiki can initiate. And with a double damage rune, Shiki is so quick. The Tule's TP was a little bit too late, but Moo's looking for an opening, and he's gonna find Garda. Garda turns for the moment, goes for the stun, and Shiki wants to keep... He's still got this double damage rune with his Enduring Chains, aggressive moving forward. Nice little to steal from Chorn. They pop off the line, and with the last they drag aggressive back. He can't get the time lapse off in time, and Chorn takes himself a double kill. And what's your trade-off? You lost your PL, you took the Weaver as well as the Lion. You'll have some significant damage done to your tier 1 tower mid as well as tier 2 on bottom.
Yeah, that's an okay trade for CDC. I thought that was kind of better. When Lion was allowed to turn Cat, Earthspike, and Finger on that bat, I actually thought they could kill him off. It's understandable that Shiki doesn't want to hard commit to that kill, because if he stays in melee range with a Flame Guard, he risks getting lassoed and then doomed, and as we talked about, they just purge off the Flame Guard and actually doesn't even deal damage. At the end of the day, though, I think they should have probably tried to commit for that bat kill and then see how it develops from there, because instead got a free lasso off.
Sorry, just came in a very long way. Without Doppelganger up, she moves the Doppelganger away. That bottom tower's within deny range, so CDEC, if they want this, they'll have to commit. They're not going to. How would deny that tier 2 on bottom lane?
This is still pretty relevant control being claimed by CDC.
Too late? Aggressive's right behind, but God is manling that charge. There's no way they get the kill that way. But at least Lion's now the money for his Blink Dagger.
Regen for Shiki. Good stuff. And I'm imagining maybe Q will skill the 4th point in Untouchable with this next level up. Something to keep in mind for Roche. Actually, the lineup is really good at Swarm, Untouchable, with Beastmaster, Necrobook.
A lot of things to work with.
Should be
and
able
getting
to
an Aegis Immortal on someone like a Weaver that basically gives a Civilized to kill. But he's already got the Liquipedia, so maybe it's worth protecting the Ember Spirit a little bit more that Aegis. How? Bottom lane, Q. Diffuser Blade is up, which means Q can't run anywhere. Sean will make sure of it, going for the Puppet Master style. And Q on the sidelines. But again, another tower being pressured. And another tower being within deny range. With that catapult attack, it's down 121. But this will remove like the second tier 1 tower now of Newbee, which means they've got no frontal positions to really work with, and they need to have some really good vision to make the Batrider pickoffs work. He won, like Moo's got himself a Blink Dagger and Staff.
Yeah, he's still doing very well in the Batrider in the farm department. It still looks like a pretty even game. And for me now, it's going to come down to who gets Roshan control and starts getting the Aegises. I still would argue that CDC could have done more with their early game, but what they at least accomplished with their playstyle was that they got line of fast Blink Dagger. All the read top and all the farming. Beastmaster is, I guess, a little bit behind as a result because they didn't help him that much in the lane. The other cores are actually keeping up fairly well, and this is a very difficult game to predict in late game. Both teams, good late game, I guess PL obviously late. If it goes super late, I would say that Ember is one of the very good counters. They were talking about how it hasn't been that good so far, but most of the games is because the PL play super aggressive in the early mid portion of the game before the matchup favors Ember a lot more. And they also have a Weaver. So double physical damage in CDC against, you know, Doom that hard counters out the one, and then the PL. Very difficult to call the game.
That's what I'm interested to see with the build from Hal, because normally if you're going up against something like an Ember where you feel like you got to get out done, like you get something more like a Blink Dagger into BKB into Whistle Blade, so you get that straight lockdown control over on the Ember Spirit, or you rely on your support here to have some more disable up their sleeve, but that's a little difficult with that lineup.
Yeah, it's now it's about time CDC to just once again. I think they could have done it earlier, but it's still the right play. Getting this, you probably put this Aegis on, I would say, the Weaver with the Lincolns, and then you can front line for the tower pushers. Probably take the tier 1 top for free, then maybe break into a fight for a tier 2, unless Newbee want to give you both towers, which you're obviously very happy with. Or you just map control and farm, and get your Fury on Shiki before you start making your aggressive play. I actually like that one the most, because he's so close, and it's such a key item, that just relaxing a little bit for that is probably a good call.
I'm loving this aggressive observer from CDEC, just around the middle. It's only got half a second left on it, but it just keeled over right next to where Newbee are about to smoke themselves up, and they actually just sentry to look for it, and then smoke themselves up too. So CDEC will at least have the information 3 players from Newbee will gathering there. They can extrapolate that is in fact a move from Newbee. They may not get killed off here, but it looks like XZ is already a little bit too far out. With no Blink Dagger on this Beastmaster and Garda already bailing into the trees, yeah, okay, they put up the Hawk. They'll break the smoke on move. He instantly, fireflies in, gets that last 2 off, and XZ is dead. Just count your losses. That's it. Bail out.
It looked like he hesitated with the roar. He wasn't sure that he should commit it, and I guess if you're dying anyway, you might as well, right? It's not that long of a cooldown, but...
Only 80 seconds.
I don't think it would make a difference. He would have died there anyway. And that's one of the... It's a bad rider, obviously, is that when the smoke breaks, he is not scared of, you'll often see the target immediately from the flying vision, and these kind of situations, he's not scared of just blinking and looking for the kill.
Yeah, the other concern is, when you burn a smoke like that, yes, you kill off a Beastmaster, but you're not stopping the Ember and the Weaver from getting anything else. The smoke is still on cool, so they won't have a new smoke for another 2 minutes now for Newbee. So these ganks are going to become a lot fewer with the smoke movements out.
If they get a tier 1, I still think it's a good play. If they kill it on its own, that's probably not even worth the smoke.
They may not get it though. That tier 1 tower has already been taken out by CDEC.
They're definitely getting this.
Okay, it is a full trade. Yeah, it's a 1-for-1.
But CDC can force the rotation as well, because they have this... They know Lasso's on cooldown for a bit, they have the Weaver with the Lincolns, Tule can't really do anything about it yet.
They just got the Battle Fury over on Shiki.
Yep. Keep an eye out for the Shadow Blade on the Doom though, making the plays. He still solo kills Shiki if he gets in.
Oh, bottom lane, Blink, Lasso, we're going to be dragging back XZ, and Beastmaster's got no way out of this one. He'll go for the roll, and this time there's no hesitation to use it, as his Necro units just run themselves away. Ends up losing both of them to the PL.
Oh, there's also a lens on Moo. This item is so good on Batrider. It's exceptionally good. Longer engage range on Blink, longer pull range with Force Staff. The cast range on Tom might actually be the best part of it though. It's so good being able to cast that from further away. But yeah, this is the build order that most Batriders go nowadays, I feel. I think some people experimented with getting Blink into Lens first, and then Force Staff, but it's just the more logical order is to do it this way. And then, of course you shouldn't forget that there's also spell damage on it, and it all adds up. It's a very good item.
Yeah, most of the time you just look for that repositional item first. That's the beauty of the Force Staff. It means you can fight the team fights in wherever you want to do it. Well, not exactly wherever you want to do it, but pretty much more on your terms than the enemies. And there's no one that really stops the Batrider in this game. Normally you see something like a Wisp, or someone that's at least gonna mess around like the Oracle, as we saw during the games early today. There's just no... Oh, sorry, during the group stage. There's just no way that Batrider can get a proper lasso off when Oracle just like burns his ulti.
Do you think there was an Oracle earlier today?
Yeah,
Liquid
it was
versus
today.
Alliance.
It was today.
That game. They lost the game though, but
Details.
well, they could have won it. They were looking so good in that game. That was actually great from Liquid. Yep. It's a little bit quiet. Is there a smoke on the CDEC side? No, they're actually just standing 5 heroes behind their tier 2 tower, probably expecting a rotation out of the enemy team. The Hawk is going to give some good information. They're going to see Bad Iron, and that's probably going to give them the confidence to move uphill. You'll see, well,
So in fact, it's also like 3 minutes until CDEC have themselves a smoke. For a game which only has 10 kills in 24 minutes, it's amazing how much smoke has been burnt. It's actually 11-minute cooldown over on smokes, and that's because you're currently looking at one smoke over on Phoenix, and they just burnt it. So they don't have another smoke for 11 minutes. This has to work to give themselves a little bit more space on the map.
This is actually pretty good timing because the Aegis expires in 10 seconds for the Weaver. I think CDC should have tried to use this somehow, but instead now they might be caught out. It looks like they have a pretty good read on the map though, and just dodge entirely, and these smokes just being wasted for Newbee is a really big deal. Like you said, 11 minutes. Sean misclicking here, you TP by mistake. So that's on cooldown as well. It's gonna be difficult for Newbie to keep finding picks if they just throw away their smokes like this.
Yep, unsuccessful one. Like, all that smoke managed to do was give them extra movement speed to reach the bottom lane just a little bit quicker.
They got a ward up. And that's the way they find the picks. Like, they need some sort of vision, and they're playing against a Beastmaster. That's why they bought a gem on the Phoenix, the Shadow Blade on Doom, and the Bat Rider with the Blink. They will be looking to make the map dark for CDC so they can find the picks. They realize that this is all about the vision, and 100% correct, because it's a vision game right now.
CDEC are reading the movements of Newbee pretty damn well. Like, while aggressive as well as Shiki is currently sitting inside the jungle, they're adding so much pressure to the top lane. Like, the PL is here to defend it, so Hao as well as like Ellie, they're just there to make sure this push does not succeed from CDEC. But they put this observer ward down a long time ago. Garda was actually the man to do it. He was waiting for someone to come out, and the only person who came was actually Tule. And he said, I can't do this. Especially when he didn't have help behind him. So now he waits, now he does have help, but they have to keep split pushing it out. Like the TP down the bottom lane so she can push it out, and then he's come back to Spirit on top lane. Actually, did he leave one up there?
He has a remnant active, but I don't know where it is. Oh, it's in their small camp up top. It will expire soon though. He might just flame guard.
There you go. That's what they were waiting for. Very quick, very easy, very effective.
At some point, someone's gonna show, and then they die.
He waited. He was very, very patient.
Yep. I don't think that was the kill they were hoping for. I think the most valuable kill there is probably the PL, or the Bat Rider. Bat Rider is actually most valuable because of the gem. And we'll now find the ward because they're like, okay, we actually got jumped here. There's probably vision.
Doomring has found a
Right,
target.
there it is.
And he starts instantly with that info. It goes into the Doom and should die now. There's no TP support coming. Okay, now it comes, but it's a little too late there. No ability to deny up the Ember Spirit. So a solo kill for the Doombringer, and all you have to do was walk up, hit him, blade him, doom him.
Yep. This is going to be a problem for Shiki the whole game, unless he gets a Linken's. Then Doom can't solo kill him anymore, unless if he itemizes so that he can break Linken's, but that's already, you know, then you've at least accomplished that. And like I said, it was just a matter of time for the Phoenix, it's also a matter of time for CDC. They've dodged well, but at some point you're going to make a misstep. And it costs them. I think this is going to cost them a tower, because they're currently set up for a 4-on-4 top, but I think not having this Ember is just too big of a problem. It's the only way they really deal with the PL, and Newbee acknowledging that, just go straight for the tower. And CDC won't have any of this fight, I think. Doesn't look like it.
We're going to fortify anyway.
Duke Glyph. Okay, maybe they can make it here.
Yeah, Garda jumping, gotta get the Hex off, the pull-off suddenly actually hits the stun, but Aggressive cannot go through that stun ray, at least very apprehensive doing so, but the damage into Ellie is so big, he'll go for the Nova. Aggressive, they're all around it, they're just gonna start attacking into it, and yep, they do bring down the Phoenix. How's TP out, Shiki steering chains, he stops him, How's doppelganger himself over into the tree line, creates a whole bunch of new cells, and then Shiki, holy Hannah, he gets destroyed by How? Well, he will be the prize for it, but he still gets himself a solo kill over on the Ember Spirit. So it's not a complete loss, even if they do lose the Phoenix as well.
And that's, you know, you kind of hate to say it, but that's probably one of those moments where aggressive just doesn't die on Ember. He realizes, okay, Slight changes the play, I stop the TP, PL's counterplay potential against me with all his mana burn, I need to Slight change it just back, wait for my team, and we go up again. There's like no escape for the PL there. He can't possibly juke them when they have a Hawk and when they have the Swarm. But end of the day, they still get a good trade, 2 kills for 1, 2 is also theirs, and they managed to defend that top tier, which is also very important, so still very good for them. Garner going in.
Real nice X starts over on Sean, but Garner, that Sunray just keeps burning out. It's still a 2 for 2, considering we've got those other Takura still on the deck. Tule able to run himself out of there.
Well, he is low.
He's got a lot more leap ability to get out. And he is low, but the Necro unit's not chasing it any further there. And they're finally going to get mopped up, at least one of them by the Doombringer. Now CDEC. And they really don't want to pull off right now. They want to keep fighting, and a lot coming off the back of the line initiation. Want to give massive props right now to Garda. He's always in the front lines, always encouraging his team to move forward.
Yeah, not scared to make the aggressive play. By the way, you remember that we were playing the Blitz game, right? And I said
Yep.
60 to 65 minutes.
That is not what you said.
Yeah.
You
It's
said 32, 37, I believe it was.
Yeah, let's say I said that. That helps. Yeah.
60 to 65 minutes. I heard.
I
Thank you,
think
Cap.
you're muted, Cap.
Cap, you're here in spirit. That's all that matters. But okay, so seriously, I think I said 35. My chances are diminishing very quickly.
Yeah, this game could just drag.
But it's also not going to be an hour-long game. I just got this feeling.
You see Weaver pick up this kind of item. Like, you go for Lincolns, you go into a Deso, and BKB is your next major item. Like, you can understand it after what just so happened to the Ember Spirit.
He almost, like, it's very difficult to aggressive die, and then he's going to have an Aegis Tomb. Likely, Newbee will try to contest this, and they're doing the right thing with the Bat Rider gem, making sure the area is clear first. But CDC can still find a very good initiation angle here, and if they've paid attention, they will know Doom is on cooldown for a bit. It's a long cooldown nowadays. Do they have a smoke ready? They just bought one for Carter, and this is, or on Q rather. This is the biggest moment of the game probably. If they get a good team fight and get the Roche, they even transition it into racks, or at the very least it very clearly.
They might actually get a lot more, because How just spent his money to pick up a Reaver. He's trying to finish up a full Hearts, which means
No
How doesn't have
buyback
buyback. It also then means, like, yeah, if CDC win the fight, they're probably going to go for Roshan, so you won't have to expend the buyback. But if CDC have some momentum on the bottom lane, which actually, no, they don't. So yeah, they're not going to force the buyback anyway, so it's not really that much of a risk.
They're going to find, no, never mind, they moved
They're
the
going to find the
Hawks.
illusions and not initiate on the illusions. Gotta blink like he was going to. Now this will break. How's going to be visible. The steering chain's actually working. Tule as well as Shaw getting caught by that. And Tule, the impetus damage is just too much. Garda might have been dragged back out by the last two, but that Nova is well out of position. They're not really hurting anyone from CDEC, as it's just all up to Shiki to bounce himself, refusal plate or not. You have 2 calls here from Newbee. Phoenix is back up again, and they're all just trying to TP the hell out of here. The only one who cannot do it is Moo, and he's the big one, because he's walking around with the gem. He cannot afford to lose this. The Scarab bugs are coming over. Moo will go down, and the gem is in the hands of CDEC.
If they see it.
They have, like,
He dropped it 2 seconds before he died, right above this tree, and it's actually pretty difficult to see that if you're not in position. This is a very good play if they get away with that.
are
and
they going
save
to send
that
the
gem.
courier?
Not so far.
I'm not seeing the Dire Courier go out. It's still currently sitting over at the shop. Which is funny considering how much money is currently holding
Oh,
on
they
to.
put the Aegis on Ember. Interesting. I mean, I guess he's the logical Doom target, so with that logic...
Will also
So
allow
also-
him to buy up his full debt. Feel a lot more secure.
Yeah, it's just way hard to siege high ground when you're... You know, when your siege vehicle doesn't have the Aegis. That's Ember's biggest weakness in the late game. He is not good at destroying buildings. Weaver, on the other hand, is very, very good.
I'm assuming that Newbee is assuming the CDC have already taken the gem. Or else they would be sending that courier on a scout, or like dropping his items. Because you've got a Shivas Guard recipe as well as a Reaver at the moment.
It is actually very surprising that they didn't just send over a Hawk, because they would have known he had that gem. He's had it for a while, he had it in the fight, and they haven't scouted the area yet. In a way, it's not that important, they have their own gem, and as long as Newbee don't pick it up, it actually doesn't matter, because then they still have gem advantage. But, you know, it's nice to get it back. Maybe it'll stay there the rest of the game. Maybe in a moment Mood just forgot.
It's quite possible. If that creep wave doesn't push out, like, far enough, which it probably won't, they won't even get the vision from the side link. I believe during daytime, you will be able to see up to that gem area, but during nighttime you will not.
It's daytime, they can't see it. The creeps don't see that. The wave.
They don't?
No.
Okay.
So, well, guess they'll just go that time soon.
We'll keep checking in on it every 5 minutes, don't worry. Middle lane now, the pressure gets to come in from CDEC. Having Destiny over on aggressive definitely helps out. He's actually still he's increasing his attack speed as well by having that Hyperstone up his sleeve. And aggressively showing the fact he has that Liquipedia by bubbling up.
There goes the tower. Slowly but steadily. This is a big item, by the way, on the Doom. This gives the fighting chance at getting a better placed Supernova and having it not be countered. Of course, the attack slow aura on that is very significant. Something we didn't mention in the draft is how Weaver naturally works well against Phoenix because of the Geminate attack, hitting twice on the egg.
Yep.
That played a role in a couple of fights earlier.
Yeah. And if Weaver keeps getting more and more attack speed, that's going to be like Weaver can just do it by himself without any kind of help from his team.
Yeah, currently the Supernova's on level 2. He actually can in BKB, he can take it down alone. At least with the Beastmaster aura next to him. That's a guaranteed.
Well, what do you want to do? Like, now you've taken all the outer towers. You've got an Aegis Demon, so you definitely want to force an issue somehow. But you got a Battle Rider that's hunting down, fire flying up near their own secret shop.
I think the perspective is a little different now as far as forcing the issue. I would have liked them to use the previous Aegis because they didn't have map control. But now that they've taken all the towers, they can actually just farm and be content. Because Newbee it's very, very difficult to see a win condition for them in that team fight that, you know, previously the way they could win fights was just Doom Shiki and play. But dooming the Weaver, next to impossible. Dooming Shiki, sure you could do it, but he has Aegis. And you're playing against a lineup that has Gem, has superior vision on you, and it's just farming in your jungle and everywhere. So, CDC can approach it this way for now. No, I like to use the Aegis, but I think it's more they don't try to use this one.
It seems like a very, very, very difficult task to say the least.
Oh, is that a new gem? No, never mind. It's just a sentry ward.
Yep.
There
that would be a pretty expensive expense to have right now for Newbee, and they're gonna middle. Too late, in pretty damn close, but who's he gonna do right now? He's just backing up. Moo is so low. That Rider already down for the count. Q's trying to run himself away, and how he's spending his time trying to chase down this Enchantress. He is able to achieve, while aggressive was ripping into LE. Chuan, that's the big pick off. Just outside, instead of having to dive inside the base. But you took 2 for 1. It's not bad. But it's not really enough to go high ground yet.
Doom wasn't used. You know, if CDC wanted to, again, they still have Aegis. I feel like they should force a buyback here. It's 40 that Aegis. It's like perfect. I mean, you force a buyback and you're just completely hard disengaged. Emp just goes in and hits that tower, and he can jump away. But they're playing it very, very, very safe here. Which is kind of uncharacteristic for CDC, to be honest. The old CDC would push for that tower, I'm sure.
But instead they're waiting for Q to respawn up, and then they go again, but then everyone's back alive. And they got to look for these big openings. But they don't expend any big abilities. Like, you still got that level 2 death, like Finger Death from Lion. That nuke wasn't even triggered, and hilariously enough, like, Tulane found himself in the middle of CDEC and decided to hold the Doom. So both teams were like, yeah, this isn't like the real fight, this is like the prelude.
He couldn't doom anyone. His only target that he could see was Weaver, and that's not a target at all.
Yeah.
And if he can see it, that's actually not a target either. Really.
So it really is like a terrible decision of who you target.
Well, now the Aegis expired. Hal has the heart. Plays are available now for Newbee. When's their next smoke? Do they have one again? Has it already? Yeah, they do. They have one in Tron. I think you save the smoke for Roche and just push out the lane, chill, because that is such a crucial moment.
It's going to be hard.
Unless your CDC are just going to use it to farm, but still, there's a cheese on it. That one doesn't expire.
Dude, CDEC are going to be so quick on Roshan.
Yeah, they kill it really fast.
Like, aggressive actually has enough money now, and he can finish up his full Assault Cuirass.
Yeah.
And you've got that Blink Dagger sitting in the, well, it's just in the stash right now of the Ember Spirit, but he can bring that out pretty quickly. And Beastmaster is obviously Beastmaster. Like he's every aura you need to bring down Roshan. Now CDEC are going to lose their tier 2 tower on top, but it looks like they want to play a game of chicken at the moment. Like there's a big creep wave going in through the top in favor of Newbee. The first TPs are already coming back from Newbee, and CDEC they are going to go high ground. No, actually, it was just illusions that were entering the base of CDEC, so no one really is left for Newbee on the top. But they're forced to fortify now.
Yeah, they're not going to go for more than this. They popped their book, they got the glyph, they have too much gold on the courier. There's a full AC available to be delivered for aggressive if he wants it. Hasn't bought it yet, but probably just wait for the courier to pick up the pieces and then send it to the secret shop for the plate mill. And, you know, you got what you came for. If they push then, it really doesn't make sense. They literally just had an Aegis expire 1 minute earlier. They haven't picked up a single key item since then. Why would they suddenly go now? This, however, could be a moment, because, again, Beastmaster advantage, good vision in the Radiant jungle. You can see Newbee is terrified of moving out on the map.
There's no way they want to come out. Like, John's just being so quick. It's like, Feybolt, 4-staff back out. You almost want to draw a perimeter that, like, if ever cross this line on your mini-map, like, you come in force.
Yeah.
And you're actually seeing the circle being drawn out right now by movies. It's like, I know they are here, but that may not help them. The stun from Gala is going to miss thanks to the 4-star. Coming out from Newbee, the pickup will be over on the Enchantress, and again, Q finds himself on the firing line. As, well, they try and make some space into the Nova. Q still on the run out of here. They get rid of the PL illusions, but Moo, he's dragging Q back in. Man, this is some serious commitment to kill off an Enchantress.
They've been hating on him all game. I feel like these fights...
It's at least slowing down his Aghanim Scepter, but he's only 2,000 gold away from that, and they don't stop aggressive or Shiki. You just burnt, like, okay, Lasso's not that long.
I used Lasso on Nova, it's not too bad. Once again, no Doom used. This is a short Roche respawn, so that's actually... Interesting.
Oh, okay. Jumping in, goes to the roar over on Ellie. The follow stun and Beastmaster. He's dying too quickly. These PL illusions are just destroying them.
Did they just willingly engage into a 4-on-5 like that? They know all of the heroes are there.
Yes. We said this. Like, we said this on the panel before we started this, where we'd have these moments where we're just like, okay, Syndron, please explain the non-logic. Like,
that's not how I work. I generally explain logic.
Yeah. Which was the peril we knew we were going to enter into in this game.
I don't know what to say about that. That was just
it felt
that's a late night show with CDC play right there, I think.
This is also a really bad timing because there's 30 seconds now that Newbee have without the Beastmaster on the field, and Moo just scattered Roshan as well. If Newbee are quick enough about this, they can take Roshan.
I don't even know if CDC scouted it themselves, which is, you know...
They haven't looked in yet.
They don't have a Hawk, because guess who's dead? And they haven't thrown in the Scarabs. Man, this is such a steal. Oh my, if Newbee get this. This is like the biggest blunder of the game by CDC by far.
Do you give it to the PL? Like, does he drop the Ring of Aquila, and then you try and force down a lane?
Yeah, I think so. You at least take the tier 2 towers, if you make it. But this could get close. No, they're too...
No, they're too far away.
Oh man, they're gonna be hitting them over this.
Even by the time they reach it, all they're gonna do is just find like the Ring of Aquila sitting on the ground inside Roshan. And the cheese will be taken by Ellie.
Alright, Toby, 60 to 65 was not a joke. That
really isn't.
That engage mid might have just delayed the game by 15 minutes.
See, I don't know if it...
10 to 15 minutes.
I don't even if it even just like delayed the game. It may have actually changed the result of the game.
That too. It's very possible.
Like CDEC now, like they have to repel the attack coming in from Newbee, and this PL is showing time and time again that he's just in a really good position. And technically, if Newbee want to force this hard, they can fight with 3 PLs. One from the Aegis, one from the buyback.
Yeah.
And obviously the original. Probably should have started with that one.
I guess that was implied. And he also has
start with the spices,
actual
and then go for the the herbs and spices, then go back to the original.
There goes the tower. I guess... Oh, they have to defend. Yeah, the waves are being pushed too hard here, so at least CDC managed to accomplish that. And okay, considering how passive CDC played with their previous Aegis, there's no way they make an aggressive play until they lose this Aegis on Newbee. So this is 5 minutes of farm for Newbee. Key item acquired. BKB for the Doom. PL should be the next item when this age is expired. I'm imagining it's just going to be straight into the Butterfly. Seems like a really good choice this game. There are no MKBs yet on the CDC cores. It's either that or it's an Abyssal, and he, like you talked about earlier, jumps in and opens up an Ember and kills him alone.
I'd actually really kind of prefer the Abyssal Blade, and if it's not built like you have the confidence to get something more like heavy stat orientated. The Butterfly is still better than something like a Skadi.
Yeah, it's got to be Abyssal,
especially when you have the heart.
For sure. They're just the best choices right now.
Yep. Shiki's preparing himself for the mid defense. She got... Is King Gata actually... I think he could solid this kill up on top lane. Yep.
That's a yes.
That was a Half-Life Phoenix who wanted himself into the dire jungle. Now Moo lassos over on Gata. Gonna look for a bit of revenge and how very quickly BT's in.
That's also a yes.
Tip for that kind of trades.
Okay.
And Lion actually spent his buyback money. He bought an entire Glimmer Cape just before he died.
Yeah. I think it's a good choice. There's Newbee gonna high ground with this just yet. Their bottom wave is way too pushed in. And just not losing his reliable gold now. The question is if the Glimmer Cape itself is very good. Not sure who's going to be holding... I guess there's going to be the gem on Batrider, and they've had a pretty... I still think someone's going to die, even if he glimmers them. He should just die to the PL almost exclusively. Or PL plus Sunray, it's definitely a kill. So, maybe it's the right item choice, I'm not sure.
Nice thing to have. Oh. This is a better initiation to have from XZ. So Tule... very burnt down. The Shiva's Guard will trigger, but it's all a little bit too late.
He wasted his BKB too. That's a second.
Oh, he actually burnt it?
Yeah. He died to Impetus, I think. He might have actually survived if that didn't deal pure damage anymore. He died to that, right? No, he died to Weaver. Maybe the Impetus didn't even hit. Panic plays.
Could be a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Yeah.
The Gemini attack following or something like that.
Big item. Talked about that earlier.
No.
Now, from Doom, until Doom gets something like, say, a Hex or an Abyssal, probably one of those two choices for him. Or he goes Refresher and targets other heroes.
This is kind of brutal for a Batrider, because like Batrider would love to have something more like a Yule Scepter so we can trigger it, but he had to go for the Ghost Scepter instead, just because of what Weaver's currently been doing to him with physical damage. And this item doesn't really transition into anything else. Like, I don't want to say he's 6-slotted, but you kind of want to have the gem on that Batrider too, or else he can't properly initiate on the Weaver.
Yeah.
But then again, he can't properly initiate the Weaver anyway.
Oh, he can burn the Force Staff and then lasso.
You'd have to be pretty quick with it.
Yeah, well, if Weaver does use BKB, you can do it. So yeah, it's time-lapse, that's the danger. But there are definitely ways of executing that, catching him by surprise. Pretty close game, gotta say. Newbee are not using their Aegis either, gotta say. It's expiring in 40 seconds. None of them in this game have been used. This is the third Aegis that just expires, I think. Right? I don't think they used them.
I think both being burnt.
Huh.
You're right. Yeah. I'm not gonna split hairs. We need to have Newbee get aggressive with the smoke, so these are the rarer things we've been seeing throughout the game. Even though like they have been fully expended every time they come back off cooldown, the time between the smokes being available for purchase is just so big. And CDEC, they're around the back, they've got the Hawk down, and right now they're watching Hal pushing the mid. There's a Spirit from the Ember already on top of that tower.
Just a quick 5-minute update. The gem is still next to the shop on the bottom right.
I think we took a little look at the 5 minutes. Wow. No, CDEC, you're going to walk up to this high ground blind. They're going to be doing it. The lasso's over aggressive, but the roll from XZ, a very quick follow-up, and Moon's not going anywhere far from town. Aggressive may actually be doomed, but the BKB off, so Tule's not doing anywhere near enough damage until he just keeps that going, and then the Sunray will help them out. They've got the life, they've got the power. Aggressive, he time-lapsed out a large portion of the damage, but Tule's still going ham behind that tier 2 tower. He'll eventually drop to this attack from Aggressive. He actually ended up picking up the gem, realizing he needs to ensure the kill over the Doom. He just got the Demon Edge. Demon Edge!
Before to pick up that gem!
He was worried about the Shadow Blade from the Doombringer.
Oh, that's actually a really good point. It was on cooldown though.
Yep. And then
okay, so here's my read on that situation. If you think they're gonna go get the gem, and you drop a Demon Edge to pick up that gem, they could get a Demon Edge instead. That's a really bad trade. Oh my god. Well, it works. So. But you're absolutely right.
At least it's not a troll drop.
That was a pretty crazy play from CDC to just walk up like that. They end up getting a bad fight, but not a complete disaster. I think they can probably hold this base maybe with 1 buyback, maybe even 0 if they play this very, very well.
It was amazing how much physical. I really wasn't ready for that much damage.
Oh, he got forced down.
Nice play from Spawn! The pick. Oh, got him! Tried to make Oh no, he's in trouble as well! They can see him quite clearly. Limit doesn't help him at all, and he's burning. He's burning from the Sprite. It's not going to be enough, however. They're back with 195, but how? He's just going in, maybe a little too deep. As Cube, nope, there's the blink. Just the impact. But because they dove in this deep, they can't go for the other side of this. They actually Fat Rider and Root just basically evaporate. How at least get the Lotus Storm return the roar, so there's no follow-up lead from the they still tend to kill Newbee. They chase the glory, they chase the scouts, they didn't go objective-based gaming, and now they've given CDEC a way to defend, hold the line, and regain control of this map. Whoops.
My analysis of that fight was, what the fuck? That was crazy. That was like the biggest, easily the biggest play of the series there with that aggressive force staff. That's such a great play in the moment. I do believe it was Chuan who did everything, force staff into telekinesis.
And that's Newbee making the play.
Newbee made the play, they got the waiver out for 2 minutes. I'm just like, okay, this is at least Rax, and they might actually just take the whole game. 2 minutes, no buyback. And then that one cleave crit that gets 2 kills on the back line after they have successfully more or less disengaged. Just kept CDC in the game there.
You almost want to say it was a bad thing that Sean was so good, because it actually encouraged Newbee to just keep fighting.
I'm not gonna say it's a bad play, killing a core for 2 minutes at potentially no cost. That is a very good play.
Yeah, but what you lost after wasn't a great play.
If you hear the voice comm,
it was good for Sean, not good for Newbee.
if you hear the voice comm and after that kill, he's like, let's dive him, let's dive him. Then you can blame him for that call.
That I'm down
The
with.
play itself, that was actually potentially just flat out game winning.
We may have a moment here. We may have a moment. They may discover the gem.
Oh, there's a gem still, guys.
There is the gem. It's only 51 minutes into a game, and no, they don't discover Jack.
Don't have a gem. Oh, a pretty nice pickup. Because aggressive.
Wait, no, they have to have left it behind then. They've got
they've
got 2 gems on the courier, both belong to Q.
Maybe they could start.
Yeah, it's gone now. No, it's still there. No, so there's 3 gems.
Open some sort of jewelry store.
They left. They're trying to make the drone necklace, like the 3 jewels.
Yep.
The drone
well,
necklace.
they could. What if you like combined 3 gems into a super gem? What would it do?
It wouldn't drop when you die.
That actually doesn't sound that broken to me, to be honest. It's a really big investment.
Yeah.
And it takes very long before you get it.
I'm actually almost down for that one.
Maybe it's still a bit broken.
Well, please.
No, I think, it's probably still
Okay,
super.
but yeah, they're not going to have super gem because unfortunately the gem is still down next
What
to that
if you
super
could
shop.
cast it, like target the ground?
Like a version of like a Night Stalker Ultimate, because you'd have to give like a true sight vision as people.
Yeah, you like ground cast. It's like a scan. You can scan an area up to 200 range away and like get 800. Oh, that.
This past week, I found the vegetarian black dragon, and now we've found like.
Oh yeah, dude. Are there any of those?
No. No, he's not munching right now.
Maybe it's time for some more cooking.
Not opening up the cookbook.
Rush us up.
For those out there that were watching the group stage, shout out to you.
Alright, this very exciting moment because down to who is going to get this Roshan by the cheese, because the ages won't get used. So it's about who can like start fermenting the cheese in the fountain at this point.
Only just managed to sit for a very long time. Go Molly. Alright, so CDEC are gonna smoke. So do Newbee, so we basically have it like we have a field of smokers at the moment, and we'll just get the first one forward. Wait for that Firefly. They're so close. He's waiting for the smoke to break, just like now. Firefly's up, and now seeing a quick blink through a short range one, but it's been up to kill off that Enchantress, or is it? She's the untouchable, but still gonna get touched up and get straight down. They're taken out too. They're looking for more. The Raw knows on a PL illusion. XZ not finding the right target. He's going to survive that blink. That TB out won't work in time. Aggressive has to run himself free. Luckily for him, he went west and Newbee went east. but they've now lost 3 heroes. The Beastmaster instantly buys back and loses one of the gems. Super gem delayed even further.
For this rush, there was a buyback on the BM. Oh, that
It makes a lot of sense to go for the Roshan.
finally got the Hex now on Phoenix too. That's a very, very big item. They have a way to link that. Obviously, just already broken it. It's a game-winning item right now.
Use your abilities. Lotus Orb as well on him. Like, how do you even touch this Phoenix when he initially dives in? Like, you can't even disable him when he makes the first jump.
If your line is very quick on the trigger.
But if you already have the Lotus Orb on when you dive.
Well, then you hex each other.
Yeah.
And that's...
And then you get sent back to the very, very start, right? Or,
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, it's actually good enough.
Okay, Helma's not really interested in going for this Roshan. He just denied the DD rune that was sitting in the bottom river. So they have no intention, and I kind of agree with him. Like, when the Beastmaster buys back, and you get that Hawk Vision over the Roshan pit, you've got to be thinking, okay, CDEC, they're ready to contest us. Why should we do the hard work for them and bring Roshan down? So CDEC now will 5-man smoke, they move the Hawk forward, and Newbee, at this point, they're basically playing Obi-Wan versus Anakin. They've got the high ground at the moment, and CDEC, they're going to slip themselves into chunks and move forward. And the
He's standing there, move!
No, he's not going for it. Garda's got the time to blink himself away. Send him chill your horn. And he's himself out. Enchantress is finally down. They found themselves an opening. Aggressive will BKB himself out as XZ basically spawns the Necro units to create space. But now they don't actually have the PKB, and Newbee will feel confident enough to go into Roshan. The Hawks will still be available from XZ, however, but there's no Necro units.
Wait, hang on. As Enchantress got this items as 25 minutes ago.
Yes.
Okay, this X has to be coming up.
Multiple times she's had over 1,000 gold, and has not purchased the item.
They do not want to roche.
I will also explain another reason why I think this has ended up happening.
Maybe it's a bit too
It's
risky.
because he's purchased multiple gems.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's been really expensive for them to try and like gain and hold on to Drew's side.
In a way, I like Newbee's choice of not taking Roche here because arguably it is a risk fight against the Beastmaster. So Hawk the Swarm, and of course the Ember, who's starting to deal a lot of damage at this point. At the same time, so much error. They're like 2 or 3 buybacks, maybe even 4, and you know on the other side that there's no buyback on 2 heroes. Or actually, on no one at all. They have 0 buybacks on the Dire. Oh, Ember has one. Okay, they won it. 1 buyback.
I would really love it if Hal would actually spend some of his 8,000 gold that's currently
now
sitting
they're
here.
going
Now the jump comes, but Hal, he already is ready for this. Garda tries to come forward. He'll be able to keep himself alive with that Glimmer Cape, but aggressive with the BKB. The Nova will finally come out now. But who go for? Can't do jack. He's actually been picked up and thrown back, and the BKB is worn off, and he was doomed up. Hence, no escape mechanism. Even Shiki has Lincoln's Sphere triggered as they dive in deeper. Q looks at big damage from the headers, but doesn't really do that much when Ellie's got a lot of life behind him. CDEC without a weaver for 86 seconds. Roshan is still on the table here for Newbee.
Do something, Newbee.
They could die. Shiki jumps himself in and instantly jumps back out again. There's no disable. It's currently the aura that's there, but then again, Hal was able to chase down the Enchantress in the main. They've got to go down mid. Like, got to look for a Rax. Like, you got 2 heroes without buyback, even if they don't have buyback. Like, you know the Enchantress doesn't have buyback. She already did. The only question mark will be, does the Weaver have the money? But he bought a Monkey King card just before that fight began. Reese doesn't have his money. Ember at least takes care of the creep wave, but Hal already got himself in. So no backdoor regeneration to stop this push from happening. And these illusions are keeping XZ off the front lines. He's actually having to go all the way back to his fountain to regenerate. So they burn the fortification. CDEC, maybe they just don't take this. Like, unless the second Rax is reversed.
I think they have to give 2 seconds. There's no way in hell they can do anything about this. They can just stand and watch.
The Ember can down, but that's basically... Actually, no, because he doesn't even have a creep wave on top, does he? So you're not even looking at, like, the extra damage coming in with the help of the Battle Fury.
He isn't really damaging Hal right now.
Okay. To jump, blink, blast through. Shiki, he tried to defend it, and because of it, he pays the ultimate price. Getting caught out, he's got buyback. 105 seconds on the sidelines will be negated by the money. But his next test is going to be a very, very long one. But they hold their second lane of racks. They burn the beast well over on the Beastmaster.
I'm not sure this is worth
that
the
was
buyback.
That was his 10-second BKB.
Okay, if they did there was that they decided this Rex and buying back Ember is more important because they could have just waited. They have 2 heroes respawning after 10 seconds, so the moment they engage like that, the risk, you look at the risk reward, they can't kill a hero. They jump on Hound Roaring.
But they can jump.
They can take Roshan now, so that would make it worth it. And I just think I'm so surprised that Newbee just left this here. I think they could have taken it. They had the opportunity to take it for the last 3 minutes.
Going to come in. The Necro Books just timed out. They didn't have vision, so the Aegis Immortal, no one's picked it up yet. Finally, in the hands of the Wither, picked up like a ragdoll and sliced in half by the Doombringer. They need to get out here, CDEC, but the Hex and Draconic aggressive. They're going to burn the Aegis to the Immortal, which means most of that work for CDEC doesn't count for much. And the Nova, as it hits the ground, it's that perfect aggressive. He gets the BKB off, but still the stun is there. And can aggressive do some work now? That question, he's already time-lapse on Sakuchi himself away from the fight. Shiki, oh, they grouped up Newbee. That Spider Fist doing some serious damage to Doombringer, but aggressive, he's still the main prime. They claim him 99 seconds on the sideline. They chased after Shiki. He's able to spirit himself away only up to the Ancient, so not too far away. They've still got no Weaver again on the field. You're going to repair what's been done to your mid lane, and Newbee are definitely force buybacks. They can just force the issue.
Gem is still at the top, by the way.
It's the 60-minute check.
Now the Roshan pit, on the other hand, is littered with power treads. Oh, XZ!
BKB, he's got nothing. But he almost killed off the Doombringer. That would have bought the space they really needed. But look at how again. He just makes it, like, he leaps it off to top lane, starts going on range interacts with his illusions, and forces Shiki to fight. But a little bit of mana if possible, and there's no Flame Guard available for Shiki. He really does not want to be coming into this engagement. Even if it is up against illusions, it's still problematic. At least XC's able to get some vision to stop that Hawk. Keep the vision up as long as they possibly can. With no weave for 36 seconds, at least now they actually have to concede the racks. And wait for racks.
Okay, fine to go. Remember when I said 60?
Yes,
they've got
your second chance with one.
And I can't even believe in that.
To just fight Gunlock, it is correct.
I have definitely lost the Blitz challenge, but that's okay, because if it's the Blitz challenge, it's probably pretty stupid. Alright.
Oh, nice jump by Moo. Caught out Q. Gunner was able to get the Hex off of Q. It just from being dragged back into the Sunfire. And there is no way out of that. 72 seconds without your Enchantress. Shiki has burned his cave. The Weaver is alive again, but nothing really stopped Hal. Even if you just him, but he's got himself another with his buyback BT. Then they jump in. Chuan! Oh my! Aggressive finally does some good damage. Goes after protecting Chuan for the moment. XZ, he has to use BKB to run out, and now how goes to work. The BKB is down for CDEC. Protection no longer exists. They're dying all over the place here in Newbee, but they're enough. Well, maybe not even have to go that deep. Aggressive comes back with the time lapse, and Ellie, well, he's going to get himself away to safety. The Spider Fist still can't reach him. Actually, they're fairly low. Maybe they can find a pickoff. Shiki with one hit, but straight back in again. Shiki gets carved up, and there goes aggressive as well. This should be the game. GG is, and Newbee in 62 minutes will end our night and eliminate the fourth team today. It is going to be CDEC. The TI champions have been eliminated. Almost champions.
Second place.
Runner-up champions. Close. No cigar.
Runner-up champions. We won place.
Oh, let's go to actually makes sense.
Man,
panel.
That was a really crazy game, and you know, I'm not really sure what to make of it. It's just.
It seems.
I think you'll be happy with